Good morning, YTPC. This is Senior Churchwarden here. Going to make a video today. I had been asked by one of the YTPers to talk about how I chose churchwardens. And I thought what I would do actually is just kind of talk about my piping history. Though I'm sure it's boring as heck, but you know. I moved from Bloomington, Indiana to Moultrie, Georgia in 1985. Moved down here to become the CFO at the local hospital. And my boss, the CEO, was a pipe smoker. And I slowly kind of got into that hobby. Now, I wasn't avid, but I enjoyed it and bought some pipes and, a few accessories, a humidor and some pipe racks, and enjoyed it for a number of years. And then in 2008, the hospital went nicotine-free, tobacco-free, smoke-free. And you were penalized with your health premiums and whatnot if you had nicotine in your system. So I chose that moment to just say, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm giving it up for good. And probably not a bad decision, but, it was a hobby I enjoyed. And I don't know over the years, what happened to all my pipes, but I will say the last 2 years of my career at the hospital was, 3 years really, was pretty difficult with COVID and supply chain issues and not being able to get masks and gloves and IV solutions and that kind of thing. It was stressful. And so I made the decision at the end of 2020 I was going to retire. But then my replacement was an active reservist, and he got called up to service because the government had to spend their COVID money. And so he was out, I think, a total of 6 months that year. So I stayed on in 2021 for that additional year. And at the end of 2021, I finally retired. And the first thing I did was order some pipe tobacco. And I'll be honest, every so often, when the weather would get cold, I'd kind of have that hankering. When I'd watch the Lord of the Rings movies, I'd like, I miss that, So I dug out a couple of pipes. I had two that I found that I still had. One is this meerschaum that my son bought me on his honeymoon in California. And so I pulled that out. And the other one was this little 1990s model Czech pipe. It had a stinger in it that I took out. It was not an expensive pipe, but it smokes pretty good. So those were the two pipes that I had at the start of my retirement year in 2022. That summer, I'd been in touch with my brother-in-law, who was an avid piper and cigar guy. And I told him, I had ordered some tobacco and was enjoying it. So he said, well, when you come up to Indiana for the reunion, we'll share a pipe and I'll show you some of my collection. Well, not only did we do that, but he gifted me some pipes. And so he gifted me some Luigi Viprati, believe it or not. Here's a sock that is actually autographed by Luigi. And it's this wonderful pipe here. This thing smokes beautifully. So that's been added to my collection thanks to my brother-in-law. And the other Luigi here is this beautiful thing. Isn't that gorgeous? Try to figure out how in the camera to show it its best light. But so this is a great smoking pipe. So those are the two Vipratis that I have. He also gifted me another meerschaum, a Sherlock Holmes. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed that one. So that expanded my collection at the time to 5 pipes, I guess, maybe. I'm not good at keeping count. So I thought, well, a lot of people talk about Peterson, Savinelli, some of these not super expensive, but really decent factory-made pipes. So I ordered this Peterson. It's an Arklow. Has this kind of joint there for the stem, and this smokes really good with English and Balkans. And I ordered this Peterson from the Pipe Nook, Eddie Gray. This is one of the Phoenix models which were released for his business, the Pipe Nook. And so this is a very nice pipe that I'm enjoying. Not right now because of the Codger Challenge. But and then the last thing, I had to invest in a Bing's favorite, Savinelli. Love this pipe. This thing smokes so great. It's light. It's just a nice smoke. Again, good with the Virginias and Virginia blends. So that brings me to the Cobbs, and I own 2. This is actually the second one that I bought. This is a Mark Twain, and it smokes very nicely. But the one I'm going to talk about is this Cobbett Shire. Now, I saw Hobbiton Piper talking about his Shire, and then I got online and saw these Starry Night stems, and I just had to order one of those. I just thought it was beautiful. And so I picked this as one of my codger pipes because I knew I was going to be smoking Stokeby's 24 Nougat. I had a supply on hand at the time of the challenge, and since it comes in bulk, it was what I chose to smoke in the challenge. And right about the time of the challenge, I had ordered a Savinelli Churchwarden. And so it came in right when the challenge was starting, and I decided that would be my other pipe. Now, the question that was asked is, why did you choose Churchwardens? And I assume he means for the challenge. And to be honest, it's the whole Stokeby thing. So rumor has it that the cast of Lord of the Rings, that's what they smoked during the filming. And I think it's Spurgeon Piper, or it may be Hobbiton Piper, that talks about that on a video. But it's a beautiful pipe. And so I ended up smoking what the cast of Lord of the Rings supposedly smoked in their Churchwardens. And I'm smoking a mini Churchwarden and a Churchwarden from Savinelli. And that's how that all came to be. And I'm enjoying it. So that's kind of my story. Now, the other thing he might have meant was why I chose Churchwarden, Senior Churchwarden, as my piping name for my channel. And the reason I did was because at my church, it's an Anglican church, St. Mark's Anglican, the leadership structure is, the board of directors is actually called the vestry, and the officers are the senior warden, the junior warden, secretary, and treasurer. And this past year I was elected senior warden. So, and I'm smoking these Churchwardens, so why not Senior Churchwarden as my piping name, at least for now. And so that's my story on that. And really, really enjoyed this whole thing. And I'm not good at making videos. I don't have any tools particularly. I'm using, I think, QuickTime to film this, but I will be uploading it to YouTube and let y'all hear a little bit about my story. And hope you enjoyed it, and happy piping.